Okay, we're going to jump in now to a match that's already underway between Chris Sandman and Bob Debonise. Just move some of these boxes. Oh, that's a lot of boxes. Chris Sandman at the top, Bob Debonise at the bottom. Bob's playing a home brew. We've seen it a few times now. That enables him to draw a lot of cards. If anybody wants to join me, jump in the Discord commentary channel. Alright, Nathan, that was fast. I'm going to be joined by Nathan Blewett in a second, I'm guessing.
Hello.
Hi Nathan, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm just trying to find out which... just give me a second, I'm updating these posts.
Which game are we up to?
I haven't found that out yet. Christopher Sandman. I can't find Chris on Facebook. Chris Sandman. I just have to save it like that. Oh, okay, so still in game one. I think you joined me last time when we watched Bob's match. Bob is on the bottom. He plays this Azor's Gateway and draws a ton of cards. If we look at the cards, he needs 5 different cards, I believe, to... So if we look at Azor's Gateway, draw a card, then exile a card for each card in your hand if there are 5 more different converted mana costs. So he's got a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So he needs a 1, I believe. He's got Approach coming down now. We'll just look at... This is Chris's hand that we're looking at. So Chris doesn't have an answer currently for... Oh, he can actually... 2, 4, 5. He cannot gear Hulk for Censor. Yeah, so he's actually short. He's got a Censor in the graveyard, but he's a mana short from being able to play a Gear Hulk and flash it back.
What colours is this approach deck?
Well,
Mardu approach.
Yeah, obviously he must have some... I'm just looking, how did he even cast... Oh, he cast the white through the Ether Hub.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to switch back to... we can't see... He's got the second approach in hand, but he doesn't have the mana to be able... the energy to be able to play it through the Ether Hub, so he needs a white source to win the match. Of course, because this is live, the banner is covering up the hands, so those that watch can't see the hands. But Chris has got the beatdowns going here up to 15. So 2, 4, 5. He missed his land drop. He still can't play that Gear Hulk. So we're looking at Bob's hand now. He needs to get some energy from somewhere, or he needs to get a white source. He's going to play his own Liliana's Death Majesty. Nothing in his...
Surprised we didn't see him tap to draw a card.
Yeah, he needs one more, I believe. So he's got a 2, 3, 4, and 5. He needs to get a 1 or a 6, or in this case a 7. He's got a 7 in his hand. You see a Chandra and a Harness Lightning. So this looks like a kind of a janky value brew. And if we look through his 9 cards that he's exiled, there's an Inspiring Vantage in there, but that's the only thing I can see that has So Chandra's going to die here if he swings all three. That's the only white suggestion we've found so far. We just have a look at Chris's hand again. He still doesn't have the answer for that second approach.
Approach is quickly becoming one of my most hated cards.
Actually, I played the blue-white cycling at Standard Showdown on Sunday. I think there's out of 14 people at this time, and I think 12 of them were playing approach decks. I ended up in 3 rounds. I had 2 draws and a loss. My loss was to a Grixis Pirates deck because it was just too aggro, and I couldn't settle the wreckages, and the other 2 draws went to time because they're against other approach decks.
Yep. And with the approach decks too, you can either play them as a ramp deck and just aim to ramp into an approach, or you can play them as a control deck and then just prolong the game out. But just being able to, you have 4 of them in the deck, you got 2 of them in your hand when you play the first one, and then they go, oh, it's okay, I'm on a 7-turn clock. No, immediately turn after, play it.
Yeah, and I think we saw earlier today in your match with Colron, kind of highlighted this. It tends to be that the control decks, the approach decks are split between those that run 4 copies and those that run 2. So those that run 2 tend to have other win conditions, like you look at Bob's got Chandra and Liliana and so on, whereas those that run 4 tend to be all in on the combo and then side into other win conditions.
Yeah, my Cycle Drake runs the 2 because I can use the Drakes to win.
Yep.
But it's also only running the 2 because I've got so much cycling, I can just light the fuse on it and then draw it back to it really quickly. But I can't, unless I've got like a new perspectives out, I can't do it the same turn or the turn after.
I don't know if I like the Bob firing off the fatal push there, because I just have to cough very far away from my microphone because apparently it's very noisy. But yeah, he fired that off main board, main phase there, so those zombies are all going to get in here. Of course, Liliana is not going to be as impressive on this board because her ultimate, because there's only going to be zombies on the other side, but she can get a Gear Hulk back next turn. But you look at Bob. I think Bob's. This is going to put him to 9. It's he's got 2 turns to find a white source. So here's his first chance now. What's he going to draw? Or some sort of a board wipe that can buy him some time. Okay, he just drew into his win condition, so he can fire it off now. This takes you back to the old Splinter Twin days of oops, I win with my top deck.
Top deck Aether Hub for the win. That's just.
And he'll fire that off and take game 1. I'm just going to bring up the live ladder while they sideboard and have a look. This is from the West, US West. Bob can go back on top here. So there's 3 people battling it out for the top positions, myself, Josh, Grace and Bob. Josh beat me 2 games to 1 today, so he's 7 points clear. He's 11 points ahead of Bob. So Bob basically needs a perfect sweep here to get back to the top with 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, I was surprised to see where you were sitting on the ladder. I think it was last week. I was like, what the hell? I hadn't heard how any of your games were going, and then I see you like right up the top. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Well, my problem in the league is that until today, like Josh beat me in Legacy, but me and Josh were both undefeated in Legacy, so he beat me, so he's the undefeated player. I beat him in Modern, so I'm still undefeated in Modern. It's my standard that is terrible. I've picked up 4 points in 5 matches now. So Standard's really killing my chances. But because the West Division is so strong, it looks like it's going to probably claim a lot of the wildcard spots. So I think the top 3 on that division are probably certainties for the finals.
Yep.
The 4th person, who's currently it's Dylan Magica, and Tony Wachels is also a point back. Those two are certainly a real chance of making finals as well. Because if I look at the East, which is the other one that it's sort of competing against, their spots are down to 22 points, so they're 5 points off, which is difficult to make up. Okay, so these guys are back into it now. I'll be interested to see what... They must be complaining about lag, I'm guessing. Ah, yeah, you can see there on Bob... Oh, no, you can't see, sorry, because it's covered up. But Bob has one win condition that we were speaking about.
Hey. I'm happy to see it.
yeah, hopefully... we're not going to... I think we're making a conscious decision not to reveal cards in commentary for live streams now, so... we won't say what the card is. Hopefully we'll see it, because it synergizes very well with what Bob is trying to do. Yeah, but just going back to the standings, Chris Sandman is back on 22 points. So he would he's had a pretty strong standard. So he'd be probably looking to get into the playoffs via the standard route. All this is going to be very relevant coming up for this week, because we've only got 2 weeks to go after this round. For some reason, I don't know why, there was a ton of uncompleted matches
this week.
Yeah, from the this is round 5. There's a ton of uncompleted matches from round 4 that sort of prevented me from publishing any particularly relevant standings, because they would have just been too warped. But once we get into week 6, anybody that has outstanding matches, they only have until the end of week 6 to get it done. So if you haven't completed those matches by the end of week 6, you get 0 points. So that's a favourite card of Bob's here. We watched him last week as well. And we're watching him this week. We can see that... I was going to say Chris has got counter spells in hand, but he chose not to fire them off to stop that gateway. And this is pretty aggressive play here. He's actually going to exile that Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Just stops his recursion, really. And not countering the Azors is just... what's the point of countering the Azors? It's getting a bit of card advantage, yes, but it's not going to stop him from playing the useful spells that he's digging for. That's what I'd want to save my counters for.
Yeah, and here's a test right here. I think this one will get counted. Yep. Yeah, and so Bob. Yeah, sort of what I was getting at for Aza's Gateway is Bob obviously values the card very highly. I don't know how many he plays, but we've seen it in every game he's played, and we saw in game 1 what it does. But Chris wasn't bothered with it. He just let it go.
It's not very easy to flip, so I don't think a lot of people are overly worried about it.
Yeah, and I think when it does flip, or if it does flip, I'm just looking at, he's got a 2 and a 3. He can put a 4 in there now if he wants, or a 0. Okay, we're looking at Bob, so he's got 0, 2, 3. He needs 2 more. He's got, I was going to say he had a 1 there with duress, but he's going to get to look at Chris's hand now. And he's going to see not a lot going on. A negate and 2 senses. Yeah, once he gets his Azor's Gateway flipped with his win con, it's lights out. I just have to go to a website and actually read the back of that card, because there's no way next mage to look at the flipped version, is there?
There should be.
Normally it has a little thing up in the top right hand corner, but this doesn't seem to do it. And
Yeah,
this,
I'm not sure why it's not doing it now.
this is
But
interesting.
that is how it's been previously.
He's looking for something specific here. We'll see what it is.
Hopefully another win con.
Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the flip side for Azor's Gateway. It's tap and add X mana of any one color to your mana pool where X is your life total. So with the win con we can see here, you know, he'd be adding 19 life. It would certainly be lights out.
Taking a lot of time digging through his deck.
I'm just inputting the information into YouTube of what these decks are. I'm not even sure what I'd call Bob's deck. I'm going to call it Mardu Gateway.
No, well, it's an approach deck. One with approach, so it'd be a Mardu approach.
Mardu Approach. And what would we call Chris's?
That's just blue-black control, isn't
Blue-black
it?
control, yeah. Okay, so he's cycling the sensor now. He's looking. Oh, he searched up a planeswalker with the Masterminds acquisition, and he's going to lose that planeswalker now by the looks of it. Although
That's rude.
although with Azor's Gateway, it's a long way from flipping. But I think once he sees that Torment of Hailfire, which we can now name that card because everyone can see it. I think the cat's out the bag. He's going to take the Chandra because he's still some way. He needs 2 more cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll see what he's going to get here. He's got 1, 2, 3. Gonti.
See, when it's on when the gateway's on the stack, we can actually see the flip side. So when it does its ability and it goes into the stack box down the bottom right.
Ah. So Gonti here, he chose Gonti over Torment of Hailfire. Because Torment will only be 2, I believe, in the exile zone. I think the issue with our videos going forward is I think people are going to prefer to watch the sped up versions that only take about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So these streamed versions, we can't do that.
Can we download the streamed versions after they've been done and then edit it?
Well, what I can do is I can both stream and record. I'm not doing it this time. But what we could do is stream and record at the same time, and then later on edit the downloaded one, the recorded one, and then delete the stream off the YouTube account. But both these players just have, looking at their hands, just have absolutely nothing going on. Okay, so there's on the stack, so we can look at it on the stack. Okay, he can actually exile a 4 mana here, and he does. So he's going to get a second Gonti, which is a legendary, bit surprising. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs 1 more. If he wants to, I don't think you want to exile Armgrath. I'd be interested to see what Chris sideboards into as well, because blue-black, you'd be guessing he's on the god. Not the I forget the name. Not the Scarab God. The blue
Scarab God.
Oh, Scarab God. Okay, be a blue-black god. But there's just not enough targets, I don't think, to make that viable here. Although having said that, there's 2 of them in Bob's.
As the control player, I'd just be bringing in more counterspell.
This Arngrath, I've seen it a couple of times today. I don't think it looks that fantastic.
Yeah, I've never really seen it perform. It's usually there for a turn, people get scared about nothing and then kill it.
Yeah, it's a nuisance making you discard a card, but it's, you know, gain control of target creature until the end of turn for -3. So Chris playing off the top of his deck now, finds a Glimmer. He's going to fire that off main phase. So he's probably looking for a Vraska's Contempt in here. Or a decent card and one that he can... Okay, there's a Scarab God, so he's going to have to give up Supreme Will here.
One thing with the Azor's Gateway too is as soon as it does get flipped, you'll see Sandman does have the Field of Ruins to just blow it up.
Ah, yes, so that's... He's got 2 of them, so that might just put paid to that particular plan. Well, here's a Glorybringer, so from Bob. He'll make him discard. He'll discard the Supreme Will here. But Bob doesn't have an answer in hand currently for the Scarab God. What he can do is minus Arngrath, and at least get a creature back with the Scarab God's ability. A little surprised he didn't play out Glorybringer there.
Yeah, that was a bit confusing. Not sure why he wouldn't play out a haste creature.
Is that cough very loud?
No, it's not that bad.
Okay. Now this is... He's taking an aggressive line here. He's looking for another card. He still has, I believe, still has the first card from the first Gonti. And this is the classic... this situation used to come up all the time when Ashiok was in Standard. If you exile a card with Gonti, can he play the first Gonti's face-down card? I don't believe he can.
No, you can. Gonti doesn't have to even be there for you to be able to play the card.
Oh, okay.
It's how it's worded. It's a bit of a trap.
yeah, because the old Ashiok was you couldn't play cards that the first Ashiok had exiled.
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to be able to activate Scarab God here as well.
Yeah, on Gonti's it says, for as long as the card remains exiled, you can play it. It doesn't mention Gonti or anything, it just says, as long as it's exiled, you can play it.
So we'll just look at his targets. Nothing in his own graveyard. I suspect it'll be either the Glint Sleeve Siphoner or the Rekindling Phoenix if he wants, or even Gonti. He might even go for Gonti so that he can get the card advantage. Yeah, so he's going for it right now. So he can't play out Glorybringer this turn because he'll want to activate Scarab God. The other thing he has to consider here is whatever he doesn't take of the Scarab God, Bob's going to take. So if...
No, because no cards in hand, he's just going to play.
No, he's minus Arngrath, so he's going to take Scarab God for the turn. Then he's kept up the mana so that he can also activate Scarab God's ability. So in response, okay, so he's gone for the Rekindling Phoenix. So now Arngrath will take Scarab God and Bob will activate Scarab God as well. So now he's kind of stuck with a Gonti or a Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Oh, he's not going to
No,
go for the activation.
that's the line. No, because you can play the Glorybringer, exert the Glorybringer, swing for lethal, and just kill the Phoenix.
Oh, 8. Yeah, I didn't realise Chris was at 8 life. Sorry. Yeah, so there's no way out of that for Chris.
Yeah, no cards in hand. He's just went for it.
Yes, just hoping that Bob wouldn't see the line. Yep, so take down the Rekindling Phoenix, and Bob's going to take standard 2 games to 0. And that's part 1 of a 3-part trip to get back to the top. Week 4, week 5, so 2, 0. And just looking at the standings, for Bob's actually undefeated in standard. He's a perfect 5-0 at the moment. And just for the modern finals here, hey, what happened? Why was that not lethal?
4,
I was just looking
9,
away for a moment.
10, 11. That was lethal.
Did something have lifelink? See, he only did 6 damage. Unless he didn't exert the Glorybringer. Oh, no, sorry, yeah. He, when the Rekindling Phoenix dies, it leaves behind that 0-1.
Oh, okay.
So he could use that as a blocker.
We both weren't looking at the screen when that happened. I just thought it was dead.
Yeah, I was already lining up the next match and looking at the standings, and I come back and hold on, it's still going on. But he's still dead, I believe. Unless he can't get that Glorybringer off the battlefield.
You just have to +1 Angrath, and now he's dead.
Oh no. Chris has got a Vraska's Contempt in hand. So he's going to take down Angrath here with the Scarab God, and he's actually stabilising here. I think he might come back and get this one. Bob's only got a land in hand.
It'll just come down to what the Gonti's cards were.
Of which Bob has 2. I just see what he's got here. Unless he peels a Torment of Hailfire off the top. So Glorybringer is exerted. Okay, he's got draws a Rekindling Phoenix from the gateway. So that was an advantage of the gateway. He had the land in hand and he could loot it for the Phoenix. And he gets back a card that he just looted away anyway. It's a shame we can't see what the face down card from Gonti is. He's going to play out the Rekindling Phoenix, so I guess he doesn't have anything from the Gonti. Although this, and I'm surprised he played out that land because he could have looted it away with the gateway again. Although that land does put him in range of approach now. Also the problem here for Chris is still on top deck mode because Vraska's Contempt will take down one of those flies, I'm guessing the Phoenix, but it's not going to take down the second one. So he'll fire the Vraska's Contempt off now on the Phoenix. but now he needs
Just
to...
leaving Gonti up is going to stop him from swinging with Scarab God, though.
Bob says, how convenient. Unfortunately for Chris, that exiles... Vraska's Contempt exiles, otherwise he could have got the flyer back with the Scarab God. Torrential Gearhulk is another draw he could draw into here. He's on 4 life, and he draws a... He's got the City's Blessing, but I don't think he can draw anything for 1 mana because it's going to cost 5. I think this is just game over. Oh no, Gonti, just as we're talking about Gonti. Bob says, sigh. One of those Gonti's cards has bought him some turns. 7, that's going to buy him 3 turns.
And a possible win con if he can manage to get it back.
Well, yeah, I don't know what happens here because he stole that approach from Bob. So, does it go 7 cards under Chris's deck?
No, because it's him casting it, so it'd go 7 under, yeah, Sandman.
Because imagine if you're playing it down at your local game store and you put it 7 cards under and you got different sleeves.
Oh, well, it's fine because it's still you still know it's going to be search. That's just how the card works. You wouldn't be sleeving it up in your own sleeves. It's still someone else's card.
I would have been tempted to swing Gonti there.
Yeah, the Gonti definitely should have swung. I'm not sure why he wouldn't do that.
He can wait a turn Glint Sleeve Siphoner. He does have 2 energy, so he can get a card from the Glint Sleeve. As Bob draws his approach. Chris is out of cards. Bob just drew a approach. So
Chris's problem will be being able to cast it the second time because he hasn't got white sources.
yeah, and it doesn't look like he's got Ether Hub in his deck, obviously. And the only other way you can do it is, can he kill that Gonti and then take a land? Does Gonti allow you to take lands? Oh, you got to cast it. I don't believe lands are cast. They're only played. So Gonti's dead here. Is it to?
I wouldn't exert. He needs damage.
Yeah, keep it a 3-turn clock. Yeah, because the other Gonti's checking that Gonti. I think he's thinking about it. I think he's got so much life he doesn't need to exert.
Yeah. No, that was definitely the right play.
Yeah, so 2-turn clock for Chris. What can Chris has got search as well, so he's should be able to find an answer here. He's going to flip the search here. And he gets a scry, so he's got so many looks that he bottoms that card. I think this is slipping away from Bob. Puts that card in the graveyard, so he's gone to his 3rd card deep now. He's going to draw. And it's an island anyway.
Do you just ponder?
Yeah, I would just activate immediately. And then create something from the Scarab God, because that will give you 2 scries at the next go. Yeah, now he's going to...
I'm not sure why he hasn't got Glint Sleeve Siphon up and just been swinging in for Menace.
I think he could have swung here. He can swing...
He's lagging, apparently.
Yeah, he can swing the Gonti, because even if... And you can see the lag here. It's starting to get pretty bad.
Yeah. So you play the land out, you activate the Scarab God, and you can tap the Ozaka for card advantage as well.
Well, yeah, I would have done... Oh, Bob's just drawn his second approach.
I hate approach. I hate it.
He's gonna, he's just going to win the game with that. Oh, and unless an Ascanta activation. Oh, he's going to slow roll it. He's going to play... Well, actually, this is a good line here to take the Glorybringer first, because it might encourage him to activate Ascanta, which he's not going to do. He's going to go to 3. Now he's going to fire it off, which will activate Ascanta.
Dig for a counter, because you need it.
Yeah, so actually that was good from Chris. If Chris had done it at main phase and got a removal, he would have lost the game straight up. Now he's got a chance to survive. If he had listened to me, he'd be dead. Can he find the counter? A sensor would do it because Bob's tapped out. Ah, that'll work. He still has to answer that Glorybringer though. He needs an answer for the Glorybringer next turn. But this lag is quite bad.
He needs to loot in his turn again, because it's just put it on top again.
No, it puts it second from the top.
No.
So and the flashback makes them both shuffle their graveyards into their libraries, so you can actually shuffle it away. But I believe you draw 7 cards. Yeah, then draw 7 cards. But yeah,
do you do that on the off chance he's not going to draw an approach?
Yeah, that's the danger. Or if he had some... I mean, he's got Azor's Gateway. He can actually loot the card away in the upkeep. No, he can actually use Azor's Gateway to loot it away. So he has to do it now. I think he's just... Actually, I don't see a way out of this for Chris.
No, because if he loots, then he can't play it.
Oh, actually, no. He has to Gear Hulk, Vraska's Contempt, the Glorybringer, and then cast Memory from the graveyard. All in this turn. Although he can Gear Hulk and negate as well. Or Gear Hulk and Supreme Will, something like that.
Yeah, that'd probably be what you could just negate it. Gear Hulk negate.
Yeah, but Gear Hulk negate won't get rid of the Glorybringer, which is going to kill him next turn. I think he needed to Gear Hulk, Vraska's Contempt, and then Memory. Because
he still can.
Is Memory instant though? I thought it's sorcery.
No, you can't do the Memory this turn, but he can do the
Yeah, so he's dead this turn because he needs to answer Glorybringer on this turn.
No, but he can flash in Gear Hulk. And
no, but the Gear Hulk... Oh, there's a second Glorybringer. So I think Bob's just got it. He can get 2 life from Vraska's Contempt, which will put him to 5. Yeah, okay, so he can actually survive this turn, but he has to Vraska's Contempt the Glorybringer.
Gear Hulk, Vraska's loot, or Ponder for the as Cantor.
Or he can just commit Memory I mean, no, commit memory won't work because in response... Oh no, Bob doesn't have a card in hand. Yeah, it will work actually. Because Azor's Gateway will make you discard. So he's got a Gearhulk and Vraska's Contempt right here. I believe that's the only line open to him.
Ah, good job. Double exert. Doesn't that mean he's missed his trigger? Because the double exert happens anyway?
Yeah, the exert trigger's already on the stack, so it's going to happen. What is he doing? He's looting from Azor's Gateway. He's just going to loot away his Wincon. Yeah, so he exiles Approach. He's going to flip the Sanctum. That's a massive misplay, I think, from Bob. Because Field of Ruin will just take down the Sanctum.
I don't think he sees it.
The only thing I'm thinking here is maybe he's got the Gonti cards that he can tap the Sanctum to do something. Through all of this, I don't believe Chris has actually targeted anything with Gearhulk yet. So he's added 22 blue. I don't know what for. Does he have a Torment of Hailfire and a Gonti? That's the only thing I can think of here. But still, the Gearhulk has not targeted anything yet, so he needs to wait for that to happen before he can play whatever it is. Otherwise... Or the target's on the stack, so he can actually do it now. Just looking at Chris's graveyard, he's got only two Vraska's Contempts that are gone. Oh, that's not going to do it. Okay, so one of the Gonti's cards was a Supreme Will.
So what's he digging? Is he just digging for Approach and going to play it?
No, he's floated 19 blue, so I'm guessing he's looking for a counter spell for the Gearhulk. If he finds it, then it's just game over. Because you can unfortunately for him, Chris had the 3 mana, still got 3 mana up. And I'm curious with the ruling of the card for Azor's Gateway, if he had a second one and he draws and loots, does it automatically flip then? Okay, he found a Glorybringer, so I don't think there's any possible way for Chris to get out of this now.
I don't understand why he tapped for blue.
Well, because this is in the combat phase, so he couldn't tap for white, because as soon as combat phase was over, he would all that mana would go. So he needed to tap for something he could cast as instant speed. See, Vraska's Contempt is going to exile, so Scarab God can't get anything from it. And it's going to put him to 5, but he's going to take 4 from the Glorybringer, so he's going to be down to 1. which means next turn he actually has to answer 2 cards. And there are no flyers in the graveyard that he can bring back.
The glory rings go on the stack for the Scarab God. Scarab God dies. Then he has to block the 2/3 with Death Touch, so the Torrential's dead. So he's hoping for some description of a top deck.
The only thing that could possibly save him, that is not possible for him, would be Fumigate. He doesn't play white. I mean, Chris doesn't know that. He can still top deck something. No, actually, Gonti is going to kill the Gearhulk, so that means when he plays the Scarab God next turn, he's going to be able to activate Scarab God and get the Gearhulk back. What's going on here?
He flashed in the Gearhulk must have been the other Gonti card.
Oh, okay, so he's using up the mana efficiently. Yes, this is just so far gone now for Chris. I don't see how he can possibly get back from this one. He have to spend 5. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 mana. He has to spend 5 to get the Scarab God on the battlefield. Then it would be 3 to plus the Skanta 9 to activate it. Leaves him with 2. Gonti can check the Gearhulk. But my guess is, because we can see what he's got going on, his play next turn is to play Scarab God, activate Scarab God to get back a Gearhulk to get Vraska's Contempt to take down that Glorybringer, but then the Glorybringer in Bob's hand will finish the job. Unless Chris can get an Essence Scatter. But he doesn't, he drew another Skanta, unfortunately. So we'll see I'm pretty sure we'll see that line here, and unfortunately I think Bob's going to take it. We called it prematurely about 25 minutes ago. And he fought on valiantly, but the resistance has finally been put down, I believe.
Answers one Glorybringer only to get another Glorybringer.
And you can see here he doesn't. There's absolutely no way out of this. I think that search for Skanta, if it was an Essence Scatter, if he drew an Essence Scatter, he could get out of it. But unfortunately, he didn't. So the 2 Gonti cards coming up big for Bob.
I'd be surprised if we didn't see a concession after he plays out this Glorybringer.
You can see Chris has got...
one Glorybringer is exerted, so he's got another turn.
Oh, yeah. Do you play the Glorybringer out now then? Oh, 1 life I think you got to. He knows about the Gearhulk though. I think I'd hold off on this Glorybringer till the next turn. Although that also gives him the opportunity to find an Essence Scatter.
I'll just be back in 1 second.
Yeah, so Bob's not going to actually swing, he's going to wait a turn. This will enable Chris to get the Glint Sleeve so he can get an extra draw. Oh no, he can't because it'll cost him a life. He can actually draw a card from Glint Sleeve Siphoner now. He's down to 1 life. Okay, so he's making another Glorybringer here to get back another Vraska's Contempt. He still needs to top deck something. And he's going to have 2 chances with his Skanta here. So Skanta trigger on the stack, he's not going to flip, so he's going to actually have 3 chances. One with a Skanta, one with a Skanta, the Sunken Ruin, and his draw for the turn. He's going to get 2 scries as well. So if he can't find something there, it's very unfortunate. 2 Vraska's Contempts exiled. So here we go, he's going to scry 2. And keeps both on top, so that's ominous for Bob. See what he draws for the turn. A Disallow. Ouch. So the tide is turning in this one. See what targets the Scarab God has here. Gonti and... I think Chris can actually pull this one out. And we could be headed to a game 3. See what Bob's going to draw here. He's going to run this Glorybringer into a counterspell. I think I would have played it the other way around, a Rekindling Phoenix just to play around that counterspell. Because now the Scarab God's going to be able to get back the Glorybringer and exert to take down the Phoenix. Although the Phoenix... Exert to take down the Phoenix and use the Scarab God to exile the Phoenix. Yeah, so this is turning ugly now for Bob. I am ready. So, Scarab God will activate here on the Glorybringer. Exert the Glorybringer on the Phoenix, and I think we're going to go to game 3. This has been quite an epic battle. Oh, he's going after the Gonti. Oh, he can actually activate twice here. And if he swings... This is going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Oh, yeah, legend rule. Oh, he finds Vraska's Contempt. Yeah, that's game anyway. So we're going to go to game 3. So we're going to change over a server to the US server. I think Bob just ran out of gas there.
Do you know what that is, Sophie? Igloo. Igloo is the big one we sleep in.
And that's a pretty good fight back there for Chris. One of the most entertaining games of the season so far. So we'll change over to the US server. Just let Will know that this server needs to be reset. So they're going to go through a concession of the first and second game to force to the game 3. So there'll be a bit of sideboarding as well. Rather than typing out this response to Oliver, I'll just say he said we've got to reduce the time on these matches. I was discussing with Nathan before what we're going to do is when we stream a match, we can stream it, but we're going to start recording it at the same time, and then so what we're going to do is edit the recorded piece, so it's speed it up to 2 or 3 times, cut it down to a 25-30 minutes like I did earlier today, and then those who want to watch the stream can watch the stream, and those that want to watch the faster piece will put the faster piece up. So we'll delete the stream off once the new piece goes on. So the first sideboarding, I believe they'll just sideboard like normal, then immediately concede and then go back.
Yeah, so in the edits, all this wait time will just be gone.
I don't know if you saw, but we've changed to the US server.
Yeah, I'm on there. Just waiting for him to... I've had the headset on the whole time. I just had my thing muted.
Yeah, because I think that some of these matches blow out to 1.5 hours, 2 hours. It's too long. So the only problem is that because they sideboard and so on, we have to manually go back into the game. If there was some way we could stay in the game, it would be much better. Then I can just kind of put it on record and go away and do other things, and then come back the next day and edit the recording. I think that's the correct one. Now they're going to start. So this is going to be game 3. Did you see the end of the game too?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, is it a classic match? Bob's still on the top here.
So does that mean Bob has he dropped games, or is he undefeated in matches?
Let me just go back and have a look at that.
They still need to concede one more time.
Oh.
So.
He's 2-0, 2-0. Last week he was... Oh, he won Legacy... Oh, no, actually, this is only standard. 2-0... Dylan Magica in week 2 took him to 3 games, and Tony Whitehills in week 1 took him to 3 games as well. Yeah, Oliver says not just for watchers, also for the players. Don't see why we need more than a 30-minute clock. Yeah, I mean, it's...
I hate the timers, personally. I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think
it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we need to have a cut-down timer, because if somebody... From what I see, like I've seen quite a few league matches, and nobody plays slow. Even in these matches, they're not really playing slow.
Yeah.
If they were dicking around, and sometimes you meet idiots on on servers that are playing 2 or 3 games at the same time. They take forever to take their turn. We did have that problem in the first season of the league with some of the new players, and so we kicked them out of the league. But since then, we've never had an issue with it.
But as mediators of the league matches and that, you can just say to them, if they are dicking around and they are being too slow, you can just give them the foot up the arse and be like, "No, you need to start either playing quicker or we're going to put a timer on."
Yeah.
Because your games are going too long unnecessarily.
And this did come to a head. You can see a silent gravestone there from Bob. This did come to a head last season or the season before, where Felix in one of his matches set the timer super low, like 20 minutes or something, and there was just no hope. And he was actually, I believe, I watched that match and recorded it. He was in a losing position at the timer ran out, so he won.
Yeah, that's when it's shit. Like, there's nothing worse than like having them dead on board and then timing out.
Yeah.
And going, okay, so that's not how it should happen.
Just
when we're at F&Ms and they're timed in the rounds, I've actually had it happen where I did have someone dead on board and I ended up not coming first at the F&M because of it. Because of a timeout, and it's just shit. It's not something you want to have. So I feel like the league would be a more enjoyable environment if we didn't have to restrict it to times.
Yeah, it's and as well, this goes back to the here's a duress. You can see Bob Chris kept on 4, so he's going to get probably Chandra here, I'm guessing. Yeah, it goes back to how long the league runs for, because one option that players have always had is they can play the games over a few days. You can play standard today, modern another day, but I think everybody that I'm aware of just gets them over and done with in one go. But yeah, I don't see a way around it. It's unfortunately, unless we just play no sideboarded games. And Chris down.
In the chat, Oliver's asked, will the hands still be blocked during the recorded version? So because we record and stream, we're not going to be able to, if we are blocking the hand, we're not going to be able to stop that. So the only other way to do it is go back to the delay for the streamed one.
Yeah, actually.
And then just changing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's what we'll do. We'll have to. Yeah, we'll put a stream delay on, so that we can get rid of that banner, and then recorded. But the recorded version had a problem today. I'm going to have to look into that and see what the issue was. I'm guessing it was from when I sped it up, because I did speed it up part way through the recording. But I've gone back.
Yeah, because right at the start it was fine, and then it just seemed to go spastic, and there was no synchronized anything. It just kept stopping.
Yeah,
the video would stop, and the audio would just keep going.
But I've watched it back and forwards, and I can't see the point. I'm trying to find the point where it starts doing that, but I can't pinpoint it. I don't know why. Oh, there's a Vraska's Contempt. So Chris is down to 4 cards. We're looking at his hand on screen now. Oh, no, well, actually we're not, because we're just talking about the banner. But Bob, with all the answers here, he's got a lot of threats in hand.
Mardu value.
There's an Essence Scatter. 2 cards.
I suppose that's nearly what you'd call it instead of a approach deck, just Mardu value.
Yeah.
Because it does just look like the red-black value deck.
Well, I haven't seen any white cards except for approach. See, he plays out the Chandra there instead of the Ungrath, just playing around Censor, I'm guessing. He can actually play a Glint Sleeve Siphoner if he floats 2 red, yeah. I like that play. One of my bugbears is people that plus Chandra when they get tapped out to reveal the card. So interesting to see if he plays around a Censor here, because he can. If we look at Chris's hand, Chris has actually got a Vraska's Contempt in hand, so we'll see if he fires it off to get rid of Chandra. End of turn? Yes. Yeah, I think that the blocked hand... The blocked hand in the recording is not been popular with the people that watch the stream.
It was never really intended for that. It's intended for people who stream.
People who what?
So like people who are streaming games. So like if they're doing live streams of their games on Twitch or on YouTube, it's for community members like Felix or Wim or whoever that are doing their games and stopping them getting ghosted.
So here's Ungrath is going to go to the second from the top, but Chris is out of cards now.
Alexa, turn off my window. Bye, Daddy.
I'll see you shortly.
Okay.
So Chris playing off the top of his deck, he draws a Vraska's Contempt. But Bob, I think, just has too many answers here. He can actually fire out Duress first. Yeah. Oh my god, this Windows is just annoying the hell out of me. So yeah, he's forced to use the Vraska's Contempt, but what do you play here, Ungrath or Glorybringer? I think you want to play Glorybringer.
Go the Glorybringer just for the damage.
Yeah, because
Ungrath isn't doing much to an empty board.
Yeah, Ungrath's only going to be pinging you for 2 a turn. It's going to force Chris to play his card every turn, but that's about it. If Chris draws like a counter spell or something, then
Ticking Ungrath up while it's got an empty board to get closer to that ultimate isn't a bad play though, because it's going to ping him for a lot of damage.
put him to 18. So is that 6? Ungrath goes to 8 to get the ultimate, which would do 8 damage. Put him to 10. I think he can... Yeah, run out the Glorybringer, so... Oh, he's going to go to Rekindling Phoenix instead. I think there's just too many threats here for Chris to answer now. But we said that last game, and he's just topped a Vraska's Contempt. What does he take here? He's already got... This is his 3rd Vraska's Contempt. So he's in the market for a Gearhulk. A tough choice, this one. He's going after the Phoenix. Down to 18. Just shows a duress and takes in a braid. Nothing to hit the FD braid, but Vraska's Contempt on Bob's side. So it's actually lethal next turn, unless Chris can find something to stop that Angrath ultimate. So top deck time for Chris. What can he get? Scarab God, is that enough?
I think we might be the first people seeing Angrath do something in a game of Modern. In a game of Standard, sorry.
There's nothing that... His only hope here is if Bob doesn't see an Angrath ultimate as the win. Yeah, so we're privileged here. The first people to actually see Angrath win something. 10 cards in the grave, so you can't even exile something with Scarab God to get it below the 8. Bob's got a Vraska's Contempt in hand as well. Ungrath for the win. And that's one of the most entertaining. Oh, he's going to do it that way. All right. There's a number of ways he could have won. Unfortunately, Bob, we wanted to see the ultimate.
I wanted to see the cool one. Why didn't you ultimate there?
Oh, of course, yeah. The Silent Gravestone was preventing the Scarab God from getting stuff.
No, but why wouldn't you just use the ultimate to kill it? I don't understand.
Bob's cheated us.
I feel robbed. I feel actually robbed. Like, I was getting so excited. I was going to be like shouting over the microphone, but no. No, they were some good games to watch.
Yeah. Actually, when I do these commentaries, I'm not a huge fan of the standard matches. If I had to rank all three, but that was one of the most entertaining ones that I've watched this season. I think standard at the moment it ranks, even though I think standard's in a great place, they tend to take much longer than the legacy and modern equivalents.
Yeah, but you'll see in standard too, with the exception of the red deck wins, it's a lot of control decks.
Yeah.
It's just mid range and it's control, or you're playing red deck wins.
Yeah.
So the only fast decks are being answered by slow decks, and then dragging out, or it's too slow deck in a slow matchup, and it just drags out even more.
Yeah.
But I'm a fanboy of standard because I got back into the standard that we're in now, and it's been really good. Like I come back into Magic after a few years of a break, but I come in just as Cat Combo was around.
Yeah.
But at my LGS, no one was playing Cat Combos, so the actual F&Ms were really good.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, I think standard right now is really good. Okay, they're into modern now. We'll just jump in here and see what's going on. But Bob tends to be one that sticks with the same decks. So I can't recall what deck he was playing. We'll have a look. Okay, Black White Eldrazi. I remember playing Chris when he had this one. So Chris is on Black White Eldrazi. Bob is on. I think he's changed decks. This deck, I've been playing a bit on the European servers this week, and this deck is everywhere. It's every second deck you run into online. Yeah, Arbor Elf is like public enemy #1 now. We just look at Chris's hand. He's going to need to get that Tide Hollow. Actually, he can't play Tide Hollow Sculler next turn. So he's going to get smashed by Blood Moon. This could be a pretty fast game 1. Okay, so Thoughtseize saves him there. He can Thoughtseize away the Blood Moon. He is going to be able to cast Thought Not Seer next turn.
Pretty sure Bob's playing red-green land destruction.
Yeah, the ones that I see online are land destruction, but I haven't seen any evidence of it yet. So Primal Command down. And Bob's actually in a pretty bad spot here if Chris can hit another land next turn. What's he going after here? Okay. Chandra will work. So we're just looking at Chris's hand on the other side. He's got 3 Tide Hollow Scholars, but he doesn't have the second black-white source to play them out. And it's too late now, so there's just going to be 2/2s. Although, okay, Stormbreath Dragon, that'll be a good catch for... So Chris kind of needs a land off the top here, pretty badly.
Is it the Ponza deck?
It's... he draws an Inquisition, so I think Bob's going to take game 1. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen land destruction, and Bob kept 7, I believe. I don't think you'd keep 7 with if you were looking for land destruction. I think he's in deep trouble now. I don't see how he gets out of this one. Another Blood Moon, that'll lock the game out. I would be plussing Chandra for the 2 red. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 1 short of playing Stormbreath and Blood Moon in the same turn.
I'd play the moon out.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, now he's in that awkward position where he's going to lose his Corsair. Play the Blood Moon, and Chris is screwed now. If you look at his hand, he's got no black or white for the Scholars. He's got no colourless for the Reality Smash. Okay, so he's going to Ghost Quarter himself here to get a source. What does he get? But down to 2 lands. But Blood Moon doing work. Yeah, and game 1 goes to Bob. Just going back, we had the podcast where we interviewed a developer from Xmage on Monday, I believe it was, and one of the things he talked about was this game at the bottom here, Pedro Blanco. Game was created 2 days ago, and there's 2 of them sitting there at the bottom. This is a Java programming error. That because it's not clearing through the server. So this server hasn't been restarted for a while. You can go to message of the day. The server uptime 65 hours. So this server hasn't been reset for nearly 3 days. So it looks like Modern's going to be going a lot quicker than... I think the key here for Chris' second game is early hand disruption. Sideboard, you can look at the created time was 7 minutes ago, so it's a pretty fast game 1. Still, okay, we're back in now. I don't really like that hand from Chris. No accelerated lands. Dead, straight up dead to Blood Moon. Yeah, he mulligans. That one, yeah, I think you got to keep that one. Inquisition can get any... I don't know why he's bought Relican. Oh, no, that's right, because he plays a processor version. So he needs to be able to process. 2 Blood Moons, though, so that's a big problem. Okay, so he's got Molten Rain in the starting deck this time. So he is playing Land Destruction.
Ponza! I'm not actually sure why it's called Ponza.
Neither am I.
I've tried to look it up and I can't find a reason for it.
He takes a Blood Moon. He can take the Molten Rain next turn with the... Oh, just as I say that, he draws a second Molten Rain.
Keen to see a Bloodbraid get played here.
Yeah, I think that's why this deck is so popular now. Bloodbraid into Blood Moon or Molten Rain.
Made land destruction real again.
Plays out a Urborg because he does have an extra turn though here. So if he draws something like a Thought Knot, he can get that second Molten Rain.
Do you escalate it here and make him? Can you make him discard multiple cards, or do you have to choose a different thing?
It's different
That's
ones.
a different thing.
Yeah, so he'll take the Molten Rain here. So he's got one Molten Rain and a Blood Moon to deal with. Unfortunately for him, I think the Blood Moon is the priority. And a Path to Exile is not what he wants to draw, so I think this is just a terrible matchup for him. And he's in
So because of layering, does the Tomb of Yawgmoth make everything that was already on board before Blood Moon hits board a swamp?
This I don't know, but that rule always confuses me, but I believe that X-Mage is bugged and doesn't do that anyway.
No, really? That sucks.
That's something that's been going on for a very long time. So here comes our first... Oh, he's going to go Blood Moon first.
Comprehensive rules of Magic do not apply on X-Mage.
No, that was raised in the podcast as well. It's the one sort of bug that they have been unable to fix. And apparently it was further confused by... you can see he's got the white source here. This is going to be a blowout. He's going to play Sorin here and then minus Sorin, and the Molten Rain's going to finish him off. I don't think you want to play Sorin here. Or if you do, you want to plus Sorin. Please plus, and we have a match. Plus. Oh, he's gone down, so that's going to be a blowout. I think if you're Bob, you want to take that swamp. Oh no, actually, Bob can't get Sorin if he goes after a basic. He has to go after a non-basic to get the Molten Rain. The other option he has here is...
There are none because they're mountains now, aren't they?
Oh no, the basic swamp is still a basic swamp. Chandra can finish off Sorin anyway.
No, I'm saying that non-basics aren't non-basics anymore, aren't they? Mountains?
I believe for Molten Rain it still applies. Two, four. Put Chandra down to 3. But he's going to have a Stormbreath Dragon next turn. And the problem here is Stormbreath has protection from white, so Path to Exile is not going to do anything.
It's a strong card.
Bob came into this match needing to win all 3 in order to return to the top of the standings, and it looks like he's going to... This stage it looks like he's going to do that. Perhaps Chris might have a Dismember. Dismember will take down that Stormbreath Dragon. I would path myself here. I would have pathed the Vampire and got a colourless mana source to play that Reality Smasher.
Yeah, you still can. He just drew into another one.
Yeah, if he sees that line, and of course only if he's got a waste in his deck. If he's got a waste in his deck, then he's going to do it. Yeah. He can finish off Chandra. I'm guessing he doesn't have a waste if he doesn't want to do that. Unfortunately for him, he just revealed the path. But the good thing here is Molten Rain is going to not be as much of a factor, because he can path himself for whatever colour Molten Rain's going to take him off. But I think I would have done that last turn, pathed the Vampire and then got my colourless source. And then you could have taken down the Chandra. So we'll see what he's targeting here.
Like you said, that's if he's playing wastes, though.
Yeah, he'd have to have a waste in his deck to play that. He's going after the planes here, so we'll see if this brings it out. What's he going to get? Yeah, he's got a waste. Yep. And at 1915, because he's got that waste now, he can probably top deck better than Bob's deck can. Although, no, having said that, something like a top deck Thought Not Seer is going to be a pretty bad draw. He's down to 11, so it's a 3-turn clock. A Reality Smash is not going to do it in 3 turns. He's going to have to draw a second threat. So this will be Chandra down. He needs a second Smasher here. So we switch back to Bob. What did Bob draw? Oh, Bob just drew land, okay. He's going to Monstrous the Storm Breath, so this is a 2-turn clock, not a 3. So he needs a... Actually, Dismember won't save him here. 7/7. He needs something that can just destroy that at this turn. Surgical won't do it, so Bob's going to take Modern 2 games to 0.
I am going to hell.
Yeah, main deck Blood Moon. It's people have their pet hate cards, and it's one of them.
That's one you love playing main board, isn't it?
Well, I generally switch between Green White Company and Blue Moon. But having seen this from, because I've got Bob next week, it's I'm undefeated in standards. Sorry, I'm undefeated in modern. So if I beat Bob next week, I'll win the modern division. And
oh, really?
Yeah, this has kind of made me think about what I'm going to play next week. As we're going to switch over to Legacy now. But this has been pretty good matches. Like obviously Bob's 2-0 up with only a format to go, so it doesn't really do Chris justice. But we've seen Standard was very close. Modern was just
a bad matchup. To look at the scores, it doesn't show how the matches actually played out because they have been really close. Oh, the Modern not so much, but yeah, the other couple they were really close.
So Bob's cut the gap now to 3 points. He's 3 points behind Josh Grace for first with this Legacy.
What do we see him play in Legacy? Is it more Reanimator?
No, Bob plays this janky kind of... I don't even know what you call it. It ramps into Ugins and massive Eldrazi's using Grim Monoliths. And Chris, I can't remember. I'm just looking at when I played Chris. Let me see. I played him in week 2. Yeah, he got me in Standard and I beat him in Legacy and Modern. Okay, so he's on... oh god, I think you and I commentated this last time, didn't we? Lands. Or was that... I think I was with Oliver, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I haven't done lands yet.
Oliver. This was like torture.
Why? It's slow.
Yeah, because... Who was it? Let me just bring it up and I'll see his previous match.
Oh no, it might have been me. I remember this with Dark Depths.
Yeah, and something happened. He surgical extraction to Dark Depths, so his only win con was punishing fire.
And the Trinispheres were bugging out.
Yeah, and it was just god awful slow. We just had to sit there while he did 1 damage a turn with
He ended up winning that though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. The Punishing Fire got him there in the end.
Burn, bounce, burn, bounce.
Well, there's going to be there's a lot of useless cards here. But yeah, Trinisphere is going to be a good test.
So we'll see Merit Lage played into
This will be
Eldrazi.
turn 3, I believe. Well, he doesn't have the Dark Depths yet. Played Chalice for 0?
Yeah.
What's he aiming for there?
I'm not sure how many free things.
Okay, he's got the Dark Depths, so he can actually win next turn because he can get Vesuva to copy Dark Depths. So Bob needs a land destruction right now. Actually, we're looking at Bob's hand, sorry.
He still needs land to be able to turn the other land into it though.
No, yeah, because I was looking at the wrong one. I thought Chris was the actually the one that had the Vesuva, but it's Bob that has it. Because Vesuva, I mean, if Bob was picked up the line there, what he could have done was have Vesuva come down as a copy of Dark Depths. It would
And he could have got it first.
Yeah, he could have got the 2020, and he'd just win on the spot. But I don't think he sees that line. But now you can see Chris has got the Maze of Earth, which is just going to shut down the Dark Depths on the other side. So let's see if he sees that line this turn. Come on, play that Vesuva.
Any land on the battlefield. I don't know how he's not spotting it.
Oh, he's played another post. He is going to have a lot of threats though, because Maze of Earth is going to shut down. But see, Thespian Stage now is going to be able to copy the Dark Depths. So I think Bob's missed it, unless he sees something that we don't. Because he had Vesuva copy the Cloud Post. At least this land looks like it's quite a quick one. But I believe this one is over. Chris is just going to activate Thespian Stage at the end of turn here.
That's still only 20 damage. He's on 25 health.
Yes, he's going to have 2 turns. There's another Vesuva. He's played his land out for the turn. Oh, he can have... I was going to say he could have Vesuva copy Maze of Earth, but if he didn't see that line of play with the Dark Depths, I don't know if he knows he can copy his opponent's lands.
That's unfortunate that he's not spotting it.
So here comes Merit Leash, a 2020. Untaps, going to knock Bob down to 5. Oh, okay, now Endbringer can actually tap down as well. So Endbringer's going to tap...
Doesn't tap it down, it just stops it from being able to do anything.
I can't attack or block, yep. Okay, so he's going to have to get rid of the... Gamble... What's he going to gamble for here? A second... Dark Depths.
In the legendary, having two isn't really.
Well, the
He's
second
got to have some kind of removal in there.
the second one won't legendary rule won't apply because the original Dark Depths is gone. It's in the grave.
No, but having it out for Merit Lage to do another Merit Lage.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, he's going to have to come up with something to beat the Endbringer. Otherwise,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd want to get removal more than anything.
I don't know if this
But
deck
there's
actually...
a 50-50 chance on whether or not he's going to get rid of it. Hey!
What did he
He's
get?
our favourite card.
Punishing Fire. Don't tell me he's going to Slant of Victory again. He's got the Grove of the Burn Willows. A second Endbringer. So if his deck doesn't play removal, I don't see how he's going to win this match.
So if you were going to do that, he should have done it on upkeep.
He's going to go for the second Endbringer here.
He's got access to a lot of mana. I'm not sure. Does he just run out Emeralds with it, does he?
No, the biggest threat I've seen him have is Ugin. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, okay, yeah, because Endbringer untaps. A Punishing Fire. Endbringer will tap down Merit, stop Merit Lage, sorry. And he's going to search up. So, okay, this is going to tell us something. What's he looking for with Eye of Ugin?
Such a good card.
Yeah, Eldrazi was fun for those playing it in Eldrazi Winter and Modern. Okay, Emrakul. Alright. 2, 4, 6, 7 permanents on the board for Chris. Does he have the mana to play it? Yep, obviously.
Costs two less, goes down to... Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar enough with lands to know what he's going to be bringing in here.
He just needs to be able to race him and get Merit Lage out before he can get a bloody thing to tap his creature down or to stop his creature from swinging in.
And I think it will... I mean, it was a bit of a giveaway there when he played the Vesuva and copied the Zone Land rather than copying the Dark Depths. It was... I suspect either we have the rule wrong or he doesn't know the rule. So that's going to influence Chris as well.
Well, for the Vesuva,
Yeah.
you've only got to read the card. It says any land on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's right. Because he
So I don't think we're the ones in the wrong.
yeah, he had the opportunity to go for it there, because the problem that he had there is he had the Maze of Ith out, but once it puts an attacking creature back from attacking, but the problem is that once Emrakul attacks, it gets the Annihilator trigger on the stack, so it's just going to wipe your board anyway.
Yeah.
And in red green, I don't know what he's going to be bringing in.
Taking a bit of time doing this sideboarding here. Trying to think about what their opponent is going to be bringing in.
I think because I've recorded and watched Bob a few times this season, so I've seen this deck. But I don't think it's... I think it's a bit of a brew. I don't think many people know what's going on.
It's one I thought about playing because I was used to have Dark Depths and played it when it was able to play in Modern with the vampire. Is it the what's it called? Hex one, whatever it's called.
I don't know. Didn't play them.
It's a vampire that I'm pretty sure you sacrifice it and then it just removes all counters. So you just play your land and this for 2. It's a 2-drop vampire.
Yeah, but this is a very... Oh, okay, they're back now. Quite a long sideboard there. You can see Bob's bought in Pithing Needle here.
Vampire Hexmage, that's the one.
Huh.
So you sacrifice Hexmage, remove all counters from target permanent. It's for 2 black, a 2/1 first striker.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So is Thespian Dark Depths is banned in Modern now, is it?
No, it's been banned for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, you never see it. I never see it around. That obviously explains it. So he's going to Pithing Needle here, I guess, and name the Thespian stage. So this is going to... This is like... Oh, he's going for the Monolith. Okay, so he's expecting the Ghost Quarter to blow something up here. You can see Bob's bought in Ensnaring Bridge.
That I like.
Make sure
That's
I'm looking
really
at right
good
hand. So he's got this Ensnaring Bridge is going to come down now, I guess. I know. Second one, he's got Chris's Wincon absolutely shut down, both with the Ensnaring Bridge and with the Pithing Needle. He's run out the Ghost Quarter, so see if there's any basics in Bob's deck. There is not. Okay, he says Merit Liege is not going to win the match for him. For the love of God, please have something other than the Punishing Fire.
I'm pretty sure it's the Wincon. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm pretty sure.
I recall last time that we watched, he had Tireless Tracker as well. The problem here is that Tireless Tracker will also be shut down by that Ensnaring Bridge pretty quickly.
Well, next turn he's going to draw a card, play a land, probably play Pithing Needle, drop back down to 3 cards.
Well, I wonder if he'd be tempted to name Wasteland here. Cloud Post comes in tapped, yeah. Yeah, so he goes for the Wasteland straight away, so he's going for the keep him off the mana trick. Yeah, I would have been tempted to play the Glimmer Post and Pithing Needle there. Or there's another target now. Perhaps he wants to name Maze of Ith with Pithing Needle. We're about to find out. So he named Thespian Stage, so he's killed the combo twice now. This is the problem though for him, is Life from the Loam. Because it's going to keep getting that Wasteland back.
Yeah, he's just going to lock him out of the game.
And the Ghost Quarter. He's got no cards in hand, but he's going to...
He can fetch for anything he wants now.
What does he get though? So he's going to look for a land card. He's going to be able to, I believe, dredge that Life from the Loam and just bring all those Wasteland and Ghost Quarter back. So Bob just can't do anything here. I don't even know what I call Bob's deck. I'll call it Post Eldrazi. So what did he get? A basic forest. You can see he's got a Life from the Loam in the grave. He's got a Wasteland there. What did I miss? How did Bob suddenly get up to 7 cards? So there's the Dark Depths. You can see all the threats in hand. And all, you can't watch him, sorry, but he's got an Ulamog and Ugin, a Thought Not Seer. Eye of Ugin's just going to get Wastelanded. I think he's kind of got a lockout. Both players have a lockout. That Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale is going to mean that any creature is basically unplayable. Ugin's his only option. But he's just never going to get the lands to play. So this is going to be a long, slow lockout with... dumps all the lands now from exploration. He's just got to get that, what do you call it? Punishing Fire. Once he finds a Punishing Fire, that's it. Bob's going to have to bring in something to shut down his graveyard and Life from the Loam. Okay, this is the first step. He needs one more Croson Grip here in order to take down that Pithy Needle.
Sorry about that. How's he winning?
He's just got a Croson Grip to remove the Ensnaring Bridge, so I'm guessing he's got more than one. I don't see how Bob can possibly win this match now.
Not only that, how's he meant to play it?
Chalice for 0, I don't know what that's targeting. Oh, wait. I think he's just got a hard he's just got a hard lock now. And I don't know what Bob can bring in, because in colourless mana I'm thinking of Grafdigger's Cage potentially. That doesn't stop life from the loam.
There you go, Chalice doing some work.
Yeah, it's going to stop the Mox Diamond. Unfortunately, as commentators, we can't kind of step in and influence this and say, let's go to game 3. It's Bob's prerogative to play this out.
If only he could get a land to stick.
I'm just praying here for a Croson Grip to get rid of that Pithy Needle. Or yeah, I'm praying for a Bob thinks he can win. I don't know how. That's a funny one. What am I missing here? How's he activating Dark Depths? Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to be a slow burn. So he's going to be able to take counters off of Dark Depths here. 5 turns to do this. His Pithy Needle is actually named Thespian Stage, so it's just stopped the slow way of doing it. He can actually gamble if he wants to for a card. Bob believes he can actually mill him out here. I think that's wishful thinking. See what he's going to draw for the turn. Okay, Bob's got Vesuva. Please copy Dark Depths. Although he can't pay for it anyway, it'll just die to Pendril Vale next turn.
It'll die to Wasteland on the stack, won't it?
Well, yeah, it's going to die to Wasteland right now.
Comes in as Maze of Ith, and tap, it's dead. I'm not sure how he thinks he can win when he's completely hard locked with lands.
Yeah, I would love to know that as well.
And his own Chalice on 0 is preventing him from playing any, like, Mox or... Almost Adieu. No.
I'm hoping we're going to see a gamble for a Croson Grip here. But yeah, I don't see the point in running these lands out like this. There, it eats Wasteland or Life from the Loam next turn. And I don't know why he's not taking 2 counters a turn off Dark Depths here.
I don't.
Gonna make us wait another 6 turns.
Well, he can't really take 2 counters off, because Maze of Ith doesn't tap for mana, and neither does
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Pendril.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's going to gamble now. Come on, cross our fingers. Croson Grip. What's he searching for?
No, he just life and loamed.
No, he's cast Gamble. So I'm guessing he's only got 1 Croson Grip in his deck.
Tyler's track is still a win con.
Yep. Chalice does some work. There's all the Wastelands to... So he's got an...
I don't understand why he did that.
Why he did what?
Well, wouldn't you wait until after you played the Tyler Stracky before is that again?
Yeah,
Or is he just trying to get more counters off Dark Depth?
I'm guessing he's just gonna dredge Life from the Loam next turn.
Well, we're about 25 turns into the game, and no one's taken any damage.
We've got 5 turns to go. So he finds another Life from the Loam. Okay, now this, please. Put us out of our misery. You can see though Bob's on 39 cards and Chris is on 30.
Yeah. just don't get how Bob thinks he's going to be able to outlast.
The only thing I can guess is that if you look at Bob's hand, does he have a... Yeah, he's got an ancient tomb in there. The only thing I'm guessing is that he must have some sort of card for 2 mana that enables him to untap those monoliths.
Volcanic Key.
Yeah, something like that. If he can find Volcanic Key, that's the only way out of it that I can see for him. And I think I think he does actually play Volcanic Key.
With your time, can you help me draw the chalk for Mommy's birthday?
Put you to bed in a second. We can do it tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, in that sense, I can see why Bob's playing on then, hoping to top deck the Voltaic Key.
Even then, he's got to play the land, and then he's floating 2, because it's just going to die straight away. And then it goes, plays the Volcanic Key, pays 1 tap, untaps a Basalt, so he's only got 3 mana in his mana pool, which won't untap any of his other ones. Oh no, he can untap the Grim Monolith to pay 3. No, it doesn't matter. It's not going to untap multiple things. He can't chain it, and neither of them generated enough mana that he's going to get any value out of it except to play another Basalt.
He can untap the Basalt to play another Monolith, and then each turn he plays a land and uses the mana from the land to untap the...
Yeah, but he's got to get the lands.
Yeah, he's going to have to chain them all together to get up to Ugin, I'm guessing. Because he can't play any of the other creatures because they're just going to die to Barnacle.
Stop worrying about the clues and just take the counters off the depths.
Yeah. 6, he's going to have a 3-turn clock here. Molten Vortex. You can see he's got 4 wastelands there.
I really like Vortex as a win con. That's really cool. Because you can just keep life and loaming.
Okay, so Bob's got 4 turns to make this happen.
Why is he doing that now? Why didn't he do it before? Like, if you were going to do it, wouldn't you give yourself more power when you swung it, not after?
Well, it's going to be a 2-turn clock here, at least.
I'd run out the Vortex.
I think Bob's got to draw the Voltaic Key on this turn, because he needs to have the turn to play it and then the turn to untap. But even then, He can't untap. I think he's just too late. Yeah, I think that's game now. He can't do it in 2 turns.
You go upstairs to bed, okay?
Let me drop there, okay?
Sorry I fell asleep.
It's okay. You can sleep with me.
Did you have a medicine?
Yeah, I really do have antibiotics.
Before dinner.
After dinner, I need to
Okay, so this is 8. I don't know what he's looking for. Ah, there's a second Croson grip.
Come on, just play the grip.
Well, the problem is the duck taps. I think Merit Leash comes in tapped, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this one's just over. We're going to game 3.
He can't swing with it, it hasn't got haste, but
Fine.
it's going to be on the board. But it being on board should surely make him concede.
Finally, we get a concession from Bob.
He's like, no, I will not stand down.
Emma, who are you talking to?
So we're going to a game 3 in Legacy now. Bob 2 points behind Josh.
Battling it out for over 2 hours.
Yeah, and I think Bob there, he had all the answers and he still couldn't win. So we'll have to see how he goes in the 3rd match.
I'm going down with you.
Can you get Mummy's phone, please? Mummy's phone's on the couch, Mummy.
Mommy, I am on
Okay,
the
they're back in now. Drop of honey. I don't know about that one. He's got. I don't think he can. Chris can keep that hand.
Mommy, can you help me see like the heart right on the back?
Oh, I found it.
And that's not much better.
Yeah, Chalice for 1 is going to be very helpful here for Bob on turn 1. Okay, he's got Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. So look at Bob's hand. Does not have an answer to the combo. Oh, Ancient Tomb. No, not sorry. No, he doesn't.
Ancient Tomb Chalice for 1.
Yep. That's going to shut...
Stops a bit. But
It'll stop the exploration, so... He can't play out exploration.
I don't know if you've noticed on the YouTube channel, I've systematically been changing the thumbnail.
Yeah, let me have a look. Let's see if I can find it without... Ah, yeah, we're getting there. Nathan versus... Oh, Luca's got a picture up now. Versus Lorenzo. Yeah, Bob's using a Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, on the podcast interview that I did with you, how I said 3 of them, it's been in the last couple of days. I've gone from 3 to 11.
Oh. You can see the ley line of the void for Bob. obviously plan A was to have that in his opening hand, so...
Yeah, how's he going to go about playing that? I don't think any of his land taps for mana, does it?
Yeah. I'm guessing he's
Like
got...
coloured mana.
I'm guessing he's got probably 4 on the sideboard and is really hoping to draw one.
Sophie, your brother. Call your brother go inside.
Gigi.
Wait, I shut it. Wait for her. Wait, don't go up now.
These pain lands are putting Bob down to pretty dangerous bloody territory.
I think his life total doesn't really matter as much. Bob needs something off the top next turn. He can actually play Exploration here. Oh no, he can't because of the Chalice. Yeah, so Bob would be dead by now if he didn't have that Chalice. He's got 3... He can actually play Ulamog here. There you go, turn 3 Ulamog. And Chris concedes, so... Oh, thank God.
Gross.
We got there in the end and Bob goes back to the top of the ladder and I am going to bed. Thanks for watching. Good night.